Welcome to Incredible Buzz. I'm Chris.
And I'm Patty, and today we're going to talk about uneducated voters, or more likely, hopefully, educated voters.
Yeah, because we want to encourage you to educate yourself and not listen to everything that the media is telling you. Because what was your example before? Someone had, oh yeah, well, you saw something that they were...
Yeah, I saw a video of some people from Donald Trump's camp who had gone up to a group of young people and was asking, you know, why is it they don't like Trump? And most of them were saying things like, he wants to build a wall and he's racist. And they said, well, give me an example. And they couldn't give any concrete examples. They really didn't know why. And, you know, if they believe that, you know, that's fine. That's the whole thing of this country. You know, you have the right to believe whatever you want. But please, believe something because you have facts. Because you have a reason. You know, don't believe it because, oh, I heard my friend say he's racist or whatever, you know. It was surprising that none of them could point to any reason why. Well, because he said this or that, or because he did this specific thing. And as far as the wall, you know, the person said, well, don't you think that that we should have legal immigration? Why, you know, why do you think it's okay for people to come here illegally? You know, the person who was saying this said, I'm Hispanic. You know, my parents or whatever were from Puerto Rico, something like that. And I think that you should have to be, you know, you should have to come here legally. To me personally, you know, just show us the respect that we're showing other countries. If I go to Germany, if I go to Russia, if I go anywhere around the world, you know, I need a passport. You tell me what I need to do in your country for it to be legal, for me to follow the rules. I wouldn't expect anything else. To me, that's just normal. So why is it that for the rest of the world we need to do that, and we should, but all of a sudden in the U.S. it's a different story? No, we can't do this, we can't do that. You know why? Just make it fair, make it legal. But anyway, I guess I'm getting off track. But you know, the point is, if you believe these things, then why do you believe them? You know, you need to have a reason to. You just can't say, I heard somebody say it, so I believe it.
Don't believe it just because the media tells you. Yeah. You know, that's a mediated reality, just because they tell you something. And the thing is how much do they put up smoke screens so that you are not seeing the real issues? You know, they bring up things that have nothing to do with anything. They bring up, you know, just all kinds of odd things that will take your mind off of the things that are important. Right. You know, and then they're feeding you things that are not
distractions.
True. Yeah.
And people are aware of that. You read it all the time.
But they're not aware. A lot of people are not aware of that. Yeah, they let themselves be distracted. That's why it works.
True.
But people need to be, first of all, they need to be educated on the fact that there is spin on just about everything you watch. Yeah, you know, they're telling you what they want you to know. They're showing you things so that they can sway your thinking to the way they want you to think. Right. They're hiding things that they don't want you to know about. Right. And you know, and I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. This is fact. This fact is that they don't tell you everything that you should know. So you need to find some independent sources. You know, don't just look at the liberal, don't just look at the conservative. Find some independent sources. There's fact checkers out there. There's Snopes.com. You can check some stuff on. Right.
And you know, another thing too, if you're not an expert, I'm no expert, believe me. But I try to, like you said, check sources, find out what's really going on. Another thing I saw a video of someone who went out and interviewed, you know, 5 or 6 people who were Hillary Clinton fans, but they hated Trump, okay? This person asked these people, you know, why do you hate Trump? You know, and it was a lot of the same things, you know, that you hear over and over again. But what was really interesting was he said to these same people, what do you think about Hillary's policy for, you know, for the tax thing that she wants to do with blah, blah, blah. He went up to these same people and he had very specific policy measures and platforms and stuff.
And asked what if they liked her policies.
And said, do you agree with this? And they all said, oh yeah, I do, I like that. I would do that. Yes, I agree with that. And he came back to each one and said, well, that's actually Donald Trump's policy. That's actually Donald Trump's. Then they just, you know, so my thing is, you want to vote for Trump, fine. You want to vote for Hillary, fine. You want to vote for Bernie, fine. whatever.
But know why you're doing it.
But don't, how scary to think that there's going to be maybe millions of people out there voting who they don't even know what Hillary's agenda is. They don't even know what Trump's agenda is.
Yeah.
I mean,
years ago,
oh my God, you know, I'm no expert, but I'm not going to vote for somebody just because the media said he's a racist, or the media said she's, you know, she's responsible for Benghazi. Whatever you want to think.
At least educate yourself on it. And
that's what's scary,
you
know, because if that happens, we're pretty much screwed. People are going to be out there voting just for the hell of it, and they have no clue what any one of the three are really representing. Which, like you said, maybe we don't really know. I mean, because everything
and how can you know?
There's such a spin on everything anymore that it's really hard to know.
Yeah, years ago I had somebody that said they were going to vote for Bill Clinton because he was cute. Now that is not a good reason to vote for somebody. You know, do a little more research, try to figure out which, you know,
or
why
because
you're voting.
they're because it's a female, or because they're, you know, a conservative, or because they're. I personally vote for the person.
Yeah.
You know, not the party or the male, female, black, white, any of that.
Yeah. Don't fall for the people that are saying, if you're a woman, you should be voting for Hillary. You should be shamed. You should be ashamed of yourself if you don't vote for a woman. And that's not true. You should be voting for what that person can do for our country. And you should educate yourself on that. Do not let the media sway you to the point where you're feeling guilty because you're voting for who you're voting for.
Yeah. True.
You know, it's very important that you have some kind of an idea.
And it is tough. I mean, you know, you know, because we've discussed this before. This is, for me, I'm really torn. This is a very difficult election, but it's very critical. I feel like we're really at a cross point in our, you know, I really do. At a crossroads in our society, and
and not just in our society, but in our government, because the United States is supposed to be one of the superpowers of the world, but we are $19 trillion in debt. At least the last time I heard, and I heard one of these higher ups said, if we get to be 25 or 26 trillion in debt, we will officially be bankrupt. So what happens when the United States goes bankrupt? Do we end up in another depression? I mean, do you have to worry about, is your money, you know, where's your money at and what's going to happen? Are you going to have enough food? Are you going to have enough
I would be more concerned about who we owe money to if that happened.
Oh yeah, and they say we owe a lot to China. So the thing is, you know, the problem is we're all so busy trying to live our lives and trying to make a good life for our kids and for whatever, that sometimes it's overwhelming to try to even sort through some of this stuff, and that's why it's easier just to listen to the media. But the whole thing is find the right media. Now, years ago, when I started being more interested in politics, I had found an article about one of the people that was running for office from before he was in office. So I don't know if you can go back in like the archives of like Reader's Digest and some of those magazines, even the newspaper, and find what these guys were doing before they decided to run for president. Because their values before they decided to get on get up in the public eye is important. You know, one of the politicians was a Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts. You know, to me that's impressive. You know, that he had the stick-to-itiveness, the skills and the whatever it took to make it through that. I think that's supposed to be a hard level to attain, and so. To me, that's kind of a good sign if you see what they were like before.
True, and I really have a lot of respect for you that way, because I know you've done a lot of research. You know,
yeah, but not as much as I would like to. You know, that's the problem. So yeah. So, well, that's the thing, because and you just get overwhelmed. I mean, it's just you feel like your mind's going to blow up sometimes because there's so many different things, and then to sort through and figure out what's true.
I know that's the problem. You know, it's hard. You don't really know.
But you don't want to be one of those people that just says, he's a racist, or
please just don't, whatever you do, don't just run out and vote because a couple of your friends said, I hate this person because of this or that.
Well, and not just your friends. It's okay for your friends to say it, but then research it. Ask them why.
Well, that's what I mean. Have a reason. In other words, don't just listen to somebody because they said this. Is it true or not? There's, by all means, if you research it and feel that it's true, that's a belief of yours. You got to go by that. But don't just listen to.
Well, some of these talk show hosts too. Some of them are just
blowhard. The whole media. Don't even get me going on that
some of them are just blowhard, and they just bash. They pick somebody and they just bash them, and they may have very good points. So that's not the problem. But don't just listen to them. Listen to some other independent sources. You know, I can't say
that. And that's another
enough.
whole issue, because I'm so tired of them insulting our intelligence. As if we don't see right through it and know what they're doing. Please, it's almost a comedy anymore. It's just ridiculous.
I like the word spin. I like the word smokescreen.
Yeah.
You know, they're pointing you in a direction that maybe we don't want to be pointed in. Maybe we just need to kind of take our own little route and veer off and check some things out. And it's not that hard. While you're sitting there watching TV, throw your smartphone there and or your computer on your lap, and you know, do a little checking while you're sitting there. You know, everybody's got a little bit of downtime. So I think we're out of time again. So
we are.
You know, Patty and I just love to talk. We're off screen, we talk. We're on screen, we talk.
That's us.
Anyway, so we're still trying to do a few different things. I'm in the process of editing some things, so we have other things going on, but we're doing these because they're fun, and you know, that way we can keep you up to date on what we're thinking.
Yeah.
I get to pick Patty's brain every so often and see what she has.
Whatever's in there. I mean, have fun with that.
See what she has to say. So anyway, thank you for watching Incredible Buzz, and check out incrediblebuzz.com. And share us if you can, and we want to remind you that life should be an incredible buzz.